This is Coach Toyin speaking. Welcome, depending on where you're joining from. It could be morning, afternoon, or evening. So, thank you so much for joining today. I'm going to be diving into psychology of buying. Okay, so if you're a business owner, you need to understand and learn what I'm about to teach you today. Okay, I'm the founder and CEO of Nazaru. I'm also the founder and CEO of different platforms. But anyway, ToyiUmesSiri.academy is my business school. So I'm going to be teaching you some lessons from there today. So you do not want to miss this, right? Should I say session, class, call it whatever, right? Okay. So here's the deal. You know how you have to define your customers, right? Your customer profile. We also do this work in my academy. This one is different because while you, as a business owner, know who you want to serve and who you've created your product and services for, okay, you have a profile, you have definition, you know who they are, you know their demographic, you know all of those things, income bracket, you've done that deep research and you've concluded that this is the group of people we want to serve in this market. Okay, so while that may be true, right, in terms of who you want to sell to, psychology of buying has to do with the behavior of those who actually buy from you. So to get this work, to do this work well, this is when it's time to scale your business, is that you need to bring some level of consistency and you need to be able to anticipate who will actually buy, not who you want to buy, right? So you have information of these are the people I want them to buy, but psychology of buying is a more precise prediction of future behavior. Okay, this is not just wishful thinking of I want to save the world, I want to sell to everybody. This is more of a precise science behind the behavior of those people who actually have invested in your program before. So the data that we use to do this definition has to do with historical data, not what you wish for, but actually going into the data of those who have actually bought from you before and trying to find similarities, okay, mindsets, right? What do they have in common? The people that have purchased your product and services before, what do they have in common? Their way of thinking, their way of behaving. If you can find a thread of similarity in that database, right, that is a better predictor of future buying behavior. Okay. I hope I didn't lose you on this one. This is big business strategies, really, when it's time to scale to accelerate your business growth and success. Because for me, that's what this is about, right? Is that I served as a strategist for the biggest brands in the world, and literally, the way they do business is different from the way startups and first-time entrepreneurs with little experience do business. So, psychology of buying is one of those. Again, your customer profile, they are the people within the market that you have decided you've created a solution for. You want to sell to them, you want to message to them, right? In a way, that is wishful thinking. That's your wish. How I wish. Psychology of buying is bringing more precise science behind looking at your historical data, the people who have actually bought from you before, the people who have invested in your programs before, getting into the mind and the behavior and understanding why did they buy. Because the moment you can unlock why they bought from you, then you can refine the people you want to message for and even your message. Okay, this is how you scale your business faster. You can keep wishing and saying, oh, I want to sell these people, I help these people do this, right? That's the starting point. But if you stay there, you can get lost. The cycle of coming back in with data of who have actually bought and then understanding why they bought, that data is more precious than wishful thinking. Okay, because the behavior of buying ultimately is what you want to replicate. Okay, so I'm going to dive, if that's too theoretical, let me go into practical now. Okay, so welcome everyone joining. Thank you for being here. And if this is your first time, welcome. And if this is not your first time, you know what to do. Let me know where you're joining from. I want you to engage. I want you to ask questions. I want you to give, your reactions as well. And I'm watching from different programs and platforms where this is being projected to. Okay. So also share, right? Subscribe, follow, what else? DM me, whatever those activities are. But also visit toyinumesiri.academy. For those on Clubhouse, the link is up above. It's my business school and community. And for those on Instagram, again, toyinumesiri.academy. My first name, last name, .academy. That's my business school. Listen, as a world-class business educator, my thing is to teach, is to educate, is to empower. Okay, so let me dive into sharing with you some insights from my own school. Okay, because you need to do this for your own, right, work, your industry, right? But I want you to understand the general framework around psychology of buying. It's not wishful thinking, because you can say, oh, this is the profile of the people I can help. This is who they are, their income bracket. These are their pain points. These are their aspirations. These are their needs. These are their wants. And we do that as well in week 3 or 4 of the 10-week accelerator. I give you workbooks. I give you all the things you need. But when it's time to sell, the closer you move into automating sales, okay, the data you're going to need to convert, because by week 9 and 10 in the accelerator program, you get into a different mindset. You get into another level of precision, right? And that precision, the lead generation machine, right, is where psychology of buying, you get into the mindset of those who would buy. So it's a different pool, right? So that's a different, so you start from my brand, my customers, on and on. You do all of that work, which is available. The resources are available to you at toyinumesiri.academy. There are over 12 workbooks. One of the workbooks has 30, right, research questions you need to build, like your business plan, your business model, all of those things, right? Okay, so let me give you an example. For toyinumesiri.academy, what's the psychology of buying behind that? I'll just give you an example. Who are the people that buy? What is the mindset that buys? What's the behavior pattern that buys? I have 10 for my own school, and I'm challenging you. You need to do this work for yourself. This is why I always say, get off social media, get a pen, get a piece of paper. You've got to think your way to solving, right, all of this. Right? Because social media, you can watch me all you want. If you don't do this work for yourself, you're not going to see the reward, right? That's the danger of just consuming content. You can consume massive amounts of content. The only way you see results is to do the work. Okay, so I'll share with you, I'll run through 10 psychology of buying for my business school as an example, because you need to sit still and understand, no matter who I think I want to, right, I want to serve, not everybody wants to be served. You want to serve people, but not everybody is ready to be served. So it's that reciprocity of business transaction. But that's another thing that I teach in my academy. Okay, number one, for the academy, right? Those who buy, number one, they put a premium and a value on education, right? Is that no matter how much you say, study, take my course, follow, complete the 10-week accelerator, here's a workbook, here's your class, here's 40 courses, here's my book, go on, like, no matter how much you put this message out there, because you are also going to experience this, no matter how much you're putting messages out there, you have to understand the people that are picking up on your signals. So number one, for my school, as example, only those who value education, who put a premium on education, will pay attention. And people who discount knowledge, who discount educating themselves, will not pay attention. You know, out there in the world of social media, they say entertain. There are people that value entertainment over education. There are people who do not want to, they don't want to be bothered with any new information, right? When you're trying to teach or share any new thing, they wrestle with that. Right? They're not going to buy, right? Those who put a premium over, let's say, consumerism above educating their own minds will not pay attention to knowledge when knowledge is being shared. That's why I love LinkedIn a lot. Many people go to LinkedIn to literally learn, expand, grow, right? That's one of the beautiful things about LinkedIn, is that there's a natural quest for knowledge on LinkedIn. Most other platforms, right? Sketchy. Sketchy. Eat or miss. Well, Clubhouse too, people, you generally speaking, people want to learn, but I'll go through this points, right? So point one, as an example, the psychology behind buying. Okay, for me, because I'm in the knowledge industry, right? So you want to do this work for your own industry. Okay, let's say you're in the beauty industry. Okay, people who love beauty will invest in beauty. People who do not care will not. You get my point? Okay, so psychology of buying is getting into the data, the historical data of those who have bought from you before. I'll go to number two, then I'll open it up for discussion or questions if people ask. I'm going to number 10 today, so I have 10 things to share. Okay, number two, in addition to those who value knowledge, number two is people who know what knowledge can do for them. You can value knowledge, but you may not understand the power behind specific type of knowledge. So as example, the headline for today is psychology of buying. Many people will just go, even if they value knowledge, they may go, I'll discount that. Because they may not understand, right, what this type of knowledge can do for them, right? The value that is embedded in specific type of information knowledge to helping you see results, right? So people have to know, when we say knowledge is power, if you don't understand the power that knowledge gives you, many people discount knowledge. Okay? Is that the power, influence, access, okay? And that new knowledge will allow you to achieve more, not less, more. The more you know, the more you can do, the more access you have, the higher levels of people you can engage with. So as example, I work with ambassadors, Fortune 1 CEOs, like we do work together. But trust me, if you don't know what they know, and you don't know the challenges they're facing or the problems they're trying to solve, you cannot work with them. They can't work with you. So knowledge actually levels you up. When people say level up, listen, what actually amplifies and takes you to another level is what you know and what you can do, which is skills, right? Is that when you can engage at a certain level of right knowledge, is that knowledge determines who you can talk to and work with and who you can serve. People don't understand this, right? So when I say I'm establishing partnerships with government, it's because I understand. You have to understand at a certain level the challenges people are facing at a certain level for you to be able to serve them as an entrepreneur. And when you are missing that level of knowledge, you can't approach such people and offer them a solution, right? The knowledge to create a solution at a certain level, if you don't have it, you can't serve that level. Everything falls down to the level of knowledge and expertise that you have. You can only operate in this life based on your own capacity. Capacity, the knowledge, resources, access, relationship, all of the things you have at your disposal determines the level of results you can get in the world. And many people that do not understand it will not pursue knowledge, will not invest in knowledge, will not even acknowledge that they know. So that's just two. I'll go to number three, but I see Kit on Clubhouse. Any quick thoughts on what I just shared? I know you came in not too long ago, but feel free to share if you want to contribute as well. Thank you for being here. Oh, I'm not able to hear you, Kit. I see you on mic, but the audio is not coming through. Try again. I know the app has been playing, they've been doing a lot on the app, but I hope you can hear me though. But go on. Let's try again. Okay. You want to try again, Kit, or not? Okay. You can also try to step out and step back in. Again, Clubhouse has been doing a lot of updates lately, so I don't know what's going on there. You want to try again? Okay. I can hear some noise, Kit. Wow, something is off for sure. Yeah. If you want to step out and come back, then definitely I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Okay. So thank you everyone joining. I see those on Instagram. Hello to those on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know where you're joining from. If there's anything I've said already, drop a note. Let me know highlights. Let's make this engaging as well. Let's make it exciting. So again, if you're just joining, I'm talking about psychology of buying. Okay, this is about the thinking patterns and the buying behavior of those who have actually invested in your product and service before. This is very, very different. This exercise is different from those that you have their profile, that you say, these are the people I want to serve. Okay, but this is more about those who want to be served. Because if you mine your historical data, if you're a business owner, when we mine your historical data, what is that data saying about the commonality of those who have made the level of investments before? Because at the end of the day, you can put your message out there knowing the people that need what it is you want from them, but who are the people that actually want what you have? Keith, let's try it again. Thank you for being back. We're still hearing scratchy noise. Could it be from your hand? Try again. Try again. I can hear. Yes, that's better. I can hear hello. Try again. Yeah, I think maybe your mic, there's something wrong with the mic on your hand. I can hear the scratchy noise, and then I heard you say hello, and then nothing again. Okay, but I really want to hear. I know you always have so many amazing things to share, so I would love, love, love to hear what's on your mind. Okay. So number three, so I'm just giving you an example. I'm going to share 10 things. I'm giving you an example of the work I've done in my own data as an example of what you need to do in your own world as well. There are workbooks as well in my school that walks you through this exercise. And I see Kenneth is joining, says, thanks, ma'am, I'm joining from Abuja. Thank you. Hi, Kenneth. Good to see you again. Thank you for being here. And yes, joining from YouTube. I see this the icon for YouTube. Okay, let me get into number three. Number one, I said those who invest in educational products, they must value education, because as long as you don't value education, listen, you don't go to school. You will not, you will not, because nobody wants to do this work. Who wants to invest time in studying? No, you've got to put a premium and a value on your own education, on educating yourself. Okay, that's the only reason you go to school. That is the only reason. If you don't value it, you will not invest in it. Number two, if you don't understand the outcomes, why you need more information, why you need to go to school, who you become from investing, making that level of investment in yourself. Who do you become when you know more? For example, about building a business, about mindset. Do you become less or more? This is where we talk about empowerment. The only empowerment that matters is the one you give to yourself. Nobody can carry you there. You strengthen yourself, you fortify yourself with knowledge, with skill, because that's ultimately what's going to last. That's the differentiator, is who you become. So number two is the value. Do you know what knowledge can do for you? How powerful you become, how resilient you become. And one of the things I posted on social media today, I said, ignorance is the disease of the mind, and the only cure is more knowledge. Bible talks about lack of knowledge. people suffer for lack of knowledge. Suffering is real. Suffering because of lack of knowledge is real. Don't look at me. Go back into your Bible and read it. Is that lack of knowledge, not knowing what you need to do, right? it has its consequence cost. There's a cost attached to lack of knowledge. So there's a cost to acquiring knowledge, and there's another cost to not acquiring knowledge. The cost of not acquiring knowledge is ignorance. The cost of acquiring knowledge will empower you to do so much more for your life. If you go to school and you become a doctor, now you've become a doctor. But if you don't know what a doctor can do, if you don't invest in it, if you don't value it, you won't become a doctor, pretty much. And if you don't become a doctor, you stay where you are. Okay? Kenneth says glad to be here. Thanks, man. Okay, thank you. I'm happy you're here too. Okay, number 3. They acknowledge they do not know enough to do the things they want to do. So this is the exercise I have done, and I'm saying do it for your own business. Don't just say, I want to serve these people and these people and these people and these people. That is the starting point. This is the circle that comes with experience. After you've done this entrepreneurship business stuff for a while and you've served people, when it is time to scale, psychology of buying, understanding it will help you make it more precise. Your profile will be more precise because it's now based on actual data that you can act on. This is what we call actionable data. Okay, this is about looking at the history of those who have bought and invested and saying, why did they buy? What made them buy? If you can understand it, then you can refine everything you do. And everything you do now will be more precise and will get you better results as well. Okay, Kate, you said you may have it fixed. Let's try again.
I hope so.
Yay! See, patience is good.
Well, in this case, it took totally switching to a new microphone. I think
Oh, you're welcome, Kate,
so
for sure.
That's the reason I have backups.
Nice. Backups are great. So let me know what do you want to contribute or share or ask?
Well, I may have, since I joined a little after the start of the room, the couple of ads that I was thinking, I totally agree with that people have to desire what you have to offer as a product or service.
Mm-hmm.
And at least for me, the phases that are just in front of that are they have to know and like you and trust you, and then desire before they buy. And so too many people go right into the sell mode and the pitch without recognizing that it is a bit of a journey, and the desire certainly has to be there, as well as knowing and liking you and trusting you. Those would be
oh, absolutely.
for me.
I love that. You're spot on, because I think particularly for those new to the world of business, right? New business owners, that they make a lot of assumptions. Part of psychology of buying is removing assumptions and going into real data and real insights about why people buy, right? Why they want to buy, why they want to work with you. Because you know the people you want to work with, but do you know the people who want to work with you? And it requires awareness. It requires like humility to do the work, because the moment you can unlock this data and information, then you can go after the right people and leave everybody else alone. Everybody will join later. Okay. So number 3, and I'm using this example from toyinmesiri.academy. Okay. Number 3 is that I've realized that if people do not acknowledge that they do not know enough to do the things they're trying to do, I always say lead generation, the very first requirement for people to move towards you, your product and services, is within their heart and their mind. Okay. They are consciously aware that there is a gap, that you have something they need. right? That they're willing to explore you, your world, your product and services. But for anybody to even begin to explore, they must first acknowledge that there's a gap between where they are and where they want to go. Like, if you don't need a dentist, you're not going to seek one out. If you don't know that you need a lawyer, you're not going to seek one out. I'm trying to get to you to understand, why do people even seek you out or even pay attention? It's that consciously, not subconsciously, consciously, they must first acknowledge that something is missing. Because those who think, because this is the difference between being open-minded and closed-minded. It's not my job to pry open anybody's mind. It's not. Your mind already needs to be open. And the way you open your mind is you have to acknowledge that you need something that you want to learn. And those who haven't opened their mind, who their mind is closed, and you will see them, they are showing up in places with, there's a little bit of arrogance, because the day you think you know everything, you close your mind. And it's nobody's job to open anybody's mind. You, the people who want to learn, it's open and close. Right? You have to be open for somebody to pour into you. And if your mind is closed, anything you are hearing is falling off. It's ignored. It's not valued. Realize that you might be telling people, buy this, buy now. But if their mind is closed, they are not even going to think or consider whatever it is you're sharing. So that's another requirement, is that only the people whose mind is open, and being open-minded requires a level of humility on all our sides, for us to be able to sit still, think that somebody else can teach us something, think that we need to know something else, think, you just have to come to this space. It's an interesting space where we're like, I wonder if there's something I can learn today. It has to be this reflective, space of, thinking about your life, processing your life, realizing that maybe there's something else. So there's this exercise that already has to be going on within them, right? It's not me. It's only people who have already entered a space that their mind is open to more knowledge. Those are the only people that we even consider learning more. I understand that. You've got to understand that for yourself. This is why part of your content strategy needs to be refined. Because people who have closed mind, or people who only value handbags, and you're telling them knowledge school, they're like, I've got my life figured out. My life looks good. Okay, you back out. Kenneth says, on reasons why people go to school, I do feel that some also simply join the bandwagon of the masses in search of certificates. I get your point, but not completely true. They may have been somebody else in their life that values that knowledge, may force them or impose it on them. They might also not, because there's a saying about those who pay attention. The second category, Kenneth, that you're talking about, okay, somebody else is paying their school fees. Somebody else has taken on the responsibility of putting them in that school. That's why they are not going to pay attention. It's a bandwagon. They just show up because somebody said they should show up. But you have to realize there's somebody else in their life that values education more than they do. Right? Somebody else, parents, it's probably a parent, because only the people who love you will think for you and invest in you. If you fail to invest in yourself, listen, the whole world leaves you alone, because it's nobody's responsibility to carry you to school, to give you education. But your parents care enough to whip you, to force you or impose it on you and say, if you don't go to school, don't come to this, African parents kind of. Yeah. Somebody else values education and is willing to bear the cost of educating them. Now, when they go there, and if they fail, They will bear the consequences of not paying attention, but somebody else has done that work for them. That's why a lot of this work, and what we're talking about right now, is those who are technically immature, undergraduate, right? They've not taken on responsibility. They still feel they can do anything in life. But my point and my message is targeted towards, advanced education, professional development, is that by now, okay, if you think somebody is going to impose education on you, you wait for life. No, but you are your own. That's why I say you are your own hero. Rescue yourself. If you don't rescue yourself, nobody who's going to come tell you to go to school, learn entrepreneurship, business development. Who's going to do that for you? But maybe in undergrad, when you're 18, 19, 17, 16, maybe your parents, you may not value it, but your parents value education, right? So your parents take on that responsibility and they send you to school, right? But at 32, 35, 40, please, guys, young quarter to grandparents, it's another conversation, guys. Okay. So number 3, humility, acknowledgement that they don't know they don't know enough to do the things they want to do, and they want to know more so that they can do the things they want to do. Number 4, it also goes to humility, humble enough to learn and become a student. That's another mindset, right? Is that if they cannot learn from you, if this is where human behavior comes in, if you don't look like somebody that they believe they can learn from or submit their minds to, there's nothing happens. Okay, nothing happens. So this is where understanding human behavior. You can be out there and you're saying, I want to teach, I want to coach. And for me, this work is what the biggest brands in the world, they do behind closed doors, and you don't know. For example, there are dynamics where women prefer to learn from women, men prefer to learn from men. Few men will learn from few women will learn from men. If you would acknowledge it, this is where I say the truth. Many people like lies. These are the things we do behind the scene. Certain men will only take orders or direction from certain men. Can we just admit that as a society? Certain women will only listen to other women because maybe because we believe that our unique, you have to understand us to teach us. And if you don't understand me, my plights, my challenges, we can't relate. So let me say, certain men can only relate to certain other men, so they can subject and be led by those men. Certain women can only relate to certain women because, listen, if you've not gone through what I've gone through, if you're not facing the challenge, if I don't connect with your own reality, what can you teach me? And then I've also seen where, like, I actually have seen it, like, not just now, because I've taken on many leadership positions from teenage life, right? So I've been privileged where many men really, they feel comfortable in learning from me. I've experienced this for a long time. In fact, the fun fact, I launched a faith-based women ministry. Okay. Literally, this was called women ministry, but guess what? The women will go and bring their husband. I'm like, guys, this is just for women. They say, no, my husband needs to hear this. So I feel privileged that there's some men can relate to the things I say and share, but I don't take it for granted. And I'm saying, don't take that for granted in your own community. Is that certain people, no matter how you scream, certain gender will come to you, certain gender would not. It is what it is. But again, psychology of buying requires you to acknowledge those attract. Let me just use the word attraction. Those attracted to your work and your message. Okay? Not the people you want to attract. As a magnet, you can put your signal and be positive, but only the negative side will come to you. Every other one will move away. So just be aware. Just be aware. The people moving towards you and the people that are saying, right? It's okay. It's okay. Just know who you are here to serve and serve them well. Kid, do you want to say something before I see? Okay, let me read this. Minds are like parachutes. They work best when they are open. Yes. Ooh, okay. He also said Albert Einstein is reported to have stated, once you stop learning, you start dying. And that quote has stayed with me for years. Never, never, never be afraid to learn something, because the moment you stop learning is the moment you start dying. I love that. One thing I'm also saying to that is some people want to learn from certain spaces, and some people, no matter what those people have to offer them, they don't believe they can learn. It's also part of close. Yes.
One tough lesson to learn is
yes.
that part of connecting with potential buyers or clients or whatever is recognizing not only who your product or service is for, but who it isn't for.
Who it isn't for. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, who do you need to exclude and just move on? And the story that kind of illustrates that, I can't remember, I think it was one of the major airlines. This woman, while she regularly used their service, after every flight, she would call and complain or fill out forms online.
Wow.
So it was always something that she was picking about and so forth. And the mid-management and all the layers of management would scramble and try and pacify her and so forth. This went on for years.
Wow.
And they finally bumped it up to the CEO. And he responded with 4 simple words.
Wow.
And that was, "We hate to see you go."
Oh, we hate to see you go. Like we are not for you, you're not for us, kind of.
Exactly.
Right. And like the biggest brands know this already, right? That's how they got big. The struggle I see is when someone is becoming a business owner for the first time ever, and they're coming in with so much emotion and desire to serve everybody in the world, and they don't want to turn anybody away. They don't even want to believe that some people are not for you. They're like, is this being naive? Oh, I want to help you. I will do anything for you. Like, but it takes time for them to wake up and realize and smell the roses that it doesn't work that way in the world of business. Now, in the world of charity, please pour your heart out, pour it out. But business is different. Very, very different. So let me go to number 5. I'm looking at time. Okay. I see John says, hello, it's great to be here. It's joining from Rwanda. Hello, the country of 1,000 hills. Isn't that Rwanda? Okay, awesome. Number 5, they have to be ready to invest in their future to achieve speed of arrival, right? Is that even when 1, 2, 3, 4 is true, they value education, they understand what education can do for them, they acknowledge there's something they need to learn, they are humble enough to learn, to become a student. Number 5 is a differentiator as well, is that some people will not invest financially, right, in the future to speed up arrival. So they delay. So here's the key. You may love knowledge, you may be pursuing knowledge, but you may be going at it in a way that is slow. You're learning by yourself. It may take you a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years to get there, but at least you are in motion. At least you're learning every day. You're showing up on social media, a little here, a little there, a little there. But here's the key. There's a danger in that space. There's a decision point. Do you keep going at your own pace? This is when I say, if you're going to California, Do you want to ride a bicycle there? You already decide you're going to California. Many people have not decided they're going anywhere. So you've already passed the test. You've decided, you've set your gaze, you've made a decision. You're going to achieve success. You're going to build the business. You're going to go, right? You've made a call. But how you get there is going to determine how soon you arrive there. This is when we talk about mode of transportation. Do you want to fly there, transport right here, by road, by land, by sea? They taught us this in school, right? Is that the mode of learning is the same. You can learn how to swim by yourself versus get somebody else to teach you. Which one will help you get it faster? You can learn how to fish by yourself. You read books, you practice it, or you can get a master fisherman to show you. You can try and attempt to learn how to fly a plane, or you can go to school. And here's the key. The more complex, the more complicated what it is you're trying to do, the more painful the learning process. Simple things we can quickly learn. How to change it, like the simple things, easy things you can learn by yourself, right? You can learn simple things. As humans, we have this incredible apparatus, right? We can learn, we can read a book and learn basic things. Basic things can be learned in simple ways. But when you start going after a more complex tasks, the process of learning also becomes complex. It gets complicated. You want to fly a plane. Flying a plane is not easy. You can fly a toy plane, right? You can read the instructions. You can buy a toy plane from from Amazon, and the instruction manual will be there. You can read it, spend a few days, figure it out. But a real plane, right? You go to school for that, right? Because you're about to embark on something that is complex. Entrepreneurship is that way as well. So many people think, and that's okay. This is where personal decision comes in, right? But you have to understand the psychology behind human behavior. There's a certain type of behavior on social media where people think by themselves they can learn complex things. But I'm saying yes, air quotes, but it will take you longer. The process will be more painful. You will go through the highs and lows of confusion because you don't know what it is you're trying to do. You're trying to figure out how to do things that are extremely complex. Okay, so some people would attempt to ride their bicycle to California. Some people would just say, you know what, how much is that plane ticket? They pay the plane ticket, they sit down, they relax, and they will arrive. Right? So my school is that plane ticket, right? Ease of learning, ease of arrival, faster results. But I also acknowledge most people, this is why most people do not achieve the level of success we talk about. You know, the top 1%, top 10%, because there's a behavior tied to achieving success faster. If you're not born into a wealthy family, you miss out on the natural education of observing a wealth builder in action. Right? Is that if you now want to do what they do and achieve what they achieve, what learning process are you going to take yourself through to quickly learn what somebody else has learned in 40, 50 years throughout their lifetime? They've been exposed to how well builders think, the skills that they have. They've been trained. It's like being born into royalty, right? Is that from the day you're a baby, they teach you to sit up tight, talk a certain way, and then if you get crowned, you have to learn all those things people have learned all their years. Anyway, so number 5 is saying, why do people invest? People would invest because they want to achieve success faster. They want to accelerate their results. In 10 weeks, you can learn what you may not learn in 5 years. That's my accelerator program. But if you think you can learn it by yourself, guess what? No matter what I say, you'll be like, Toyin, it's okay. I got this. And I've seen it happen so many times. People will go round and round. They come, I tell them what they have to do. Then they say, no, I'll do it by myself. 1 year goes by, 2 years go by. They come back again. Not much has changed because they've been going round and round, spinning out. They're burning energy, burning time, right? Doing a lot of things, but they've not seen what they were hoping to see. Watch out for that. It's a behavior, it's a mindset, right? Number 6, they are hardworking. They know how to focus. They are not easily distracted. Oh my goodness. If you are easily distracted, listen, there's not much you will do, because there's a long list of to-do lists to build the life of your dreams. So people have to quiet themselves, they have to focus, they have to discipline themselves. They've got to put at least 2-3 hours each day into building their business, doing this work. And most people in the world, most people are distracted, and there are more things to distract you. Skip here, skip. You are busy. You're busy. You feel busy. You feel, like yesterday probably you felt accomplished. But guess what? How many hours did you put into Netflix? How many hours did you put into social media? As long as you are putting 2 hours into social media, please, you better make sure you are learning something that is helping you do the work you want to do. Otherwise, that stuff is just distraction from the real life. And many people use these vices. Some people have vices that keeps them away from confronting the life of their dreams. Anyway, so yeah, one thing I know, the people who enroll in my programs, they're ready to do the work, they're ready to commit, they're ready to remove distractions, they're ready to focus, because that's why they tell you to enroll in school. Because if you are learning by yourself, if you don't have personal discipline, you'll be distracted by daily life. That's why school system would tell you, come on campus, please. Right? Because they know if you are off campus, only self-discipline will help you, because there are many things that will stop you from doing your assignments. There are many reasons that may stop you from showing up to class, studying, right? So in a way, education, self-education in of itself requires you to focus and commit. Even if it's for 1 hour, you have to focus. But people have been retrained not to focus, not to have patience, not to listen. If for a second they don't like what they are hearing, they scroll, they scroll, they scroll, they scroll. And you don't know your brain is being trained not to pay attention anymore. So now you're fighting to focus for 5 minutes. Yeah. Social media is reprogramming people not to have the patience required to learn. That's why I always say, get off social media and do this work. That's why you see something, you react. Everybody's reacting now. Within few seconds, if you don't like what you are hearing, you move on, you move on, you move on. And many people are scrolling past their future, right? Because they've come to be conditioned to think it's microwave. No. Okay, I see John typing, wow, let me read it out. You said, oh, wow. I agree with you, and I would like to ask you, most youth in Africa get tremendous opportunities from experts and nerds, okay? But the issue remains the same: how to start. I have met with many young people and talked with them. Please, can you explain how to start? One of my fellows was using this principle: give me a shot and I will show you how to slay. Advise these guys on how to get started, please. And I loved your tips, coach. Thank you. May you have a great session. I love it. Thank you for your question. This is where mindset comes in. I'm actually doing some work with African Union now, to onboard youth women from 55 countries in Africa. So I appreciate your question. Even though I'm here in Chicago, there are things I'm doing internationally as well. So your question is very important. And one of the challenges, I'll just talk about one so that I can finish what I want to share today before I close out, right? One of the things you have to watch out for is that belief. Belief. What do they believe? Before you teach anybody anything, okay, there is something in the subconscious about what they believe about themselves, what they believe about the world, what they believe, perception, awareness that they have. And if you go into that, you start realizing that they may feel entitled, right? Their belief may not be in themselves. They may have been told that somebody else is responsible for making them successful. So when people have that kind of belief, they're not going to work hard to create their own future. This is why I always tackle these things head on, because it's very, very, very dangerous to a society to a people that think that the government owes them, their family owes them. And guess what? They will also blame everybody. This type of mindset will blame everybody for what they've not achieved. So, the number one thing you need to go after if you're trying to groom or nurture or mentor young people is go to the heart about what do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about the world? What do you believe? What's their perception awareness? Because here's the key: if they don't believe that hard work is the way to success, if they don't believe that they have to discipline themselves, if they don't believe that they have to pursue success, if they don't believe that they need to learn, if they don't believe that they need to work hard, if they don't believe in their own future, listen, you can give them all the tools. This is what it's going to look like. It's like trying to feed people. You put the food in front of me or in front of them, and you put spoon and fork. And guess what you are seeing? They're opening their mouth and they're saying, feed me. They don't you get my point? This is for you. The question you asked me. You see that behavior, and this is one of the things I say. On the success journey, right? Some people are still behaving like infants. You know, when you're a baby, the responsibility of feeding you lies with your parents. So your parents will give you food, baby food, they'll feed you. When you become a 5-year-old, your parents will say, go and bring your plate. You are old enough to contribute towards feeding yourself. We have cooked the food, but you will bring your plate because we've taught you how to hold your spoon, right? When they are 10 years old, listen, the parents will increase the responsibility they put on the child. So you send the child, you say, I've cooked, go to the kitchen and serve yourself. When you are 14, 15, 16, I will totally send you to the kitchen to go and make spaghetti. When you are 18, 19, I will tell you, get a job, get groceries, contribute something to this house as long as you still want to stay here. When you are 24, we'll kick you. You are now your own responsibility. Go and fend for yourself. When you get married, you are now responsible, and you start that circle all over again. You are now responsible for another life. That is the circle of maturity. But many people may grow physically. Can I say it? But mind and belief might be infancy level. You find them say, feed me, I'm hungry, feed me. And I'm going, who did this to you? Better go to the market and buy what you need and feed yourself and eat your food. Watch out for that. Is that you may find youths, adults, but nobody has matured their mind to take on the responsibility of their future. So they've outsourced it to parents, society, and government. And now they sit down and complain that nobody's helping them. Watch out for that. So on that note, I'm going to move back to what I wanted to teach today. But that is for you because I have studied this stuff. When I say I teach, I'm an educator and I have a school. Listen, you can't train people who haven't taken responsibility for their own life and future. Forget it. You waste your time. In fact, as you are giving them that food, they'll be like, nah. You don't, you know, the Bible says, don't throw your pearls to swines. Is that there's a mindset that would snort out your precious commodity. Okay. Was that too much? Let me bring it back home. So I hope that helps you. Number 6, I said hardworking, they can focus, they are not going to be distracted. Number 7, I have my points that I'm reading here. Number 7, they have a strong desire to do great things and to be great. Listen, you want to be great? God has showed you greatness, and you don't do great things. You don't fight Goliath. You don't whip some butts. You don't show up. Dreaming. Again, I'm just telling you what I have observed. I'm just sharing 10 of, right? Those who will value knowledge, understand what knowledge can do for them, acknowledge that they don't know enough to do the things they want to do. They would invest, right, to arrive in the future faster, to accelerate success for themselves because they weren't born into it, so they want to learn fast. They will invest to learn fast. Some others will not. They are hardworking. And number 7, why do we do all these things? Is because you want to be great. If you don't have if you have a desire to remain average, then keep doing average things. When we say read your book, you won't read. We say show up to class, you won't do that. You say take this course, you say no. They continue to resist the hard work that will make them great. Watch out for it. It's a mindset. So if you want to do great things in life, those who know their God, they will do great exploits. Show me your exploits. And in order to do great things, you need great information, you need great skills, you need great network. Listen, you've got to pack. Your capacity must match what you want to do in this world. And so, those who want to do minimal, it's okay. Don't worry. Find minimal scrolling, people that will tell you dance on reels, do this on this. Those are the people you are listening to, because those people will keep you where you are. Number 8, they are ready to change and transform. This one is deep. This one is deep. Anybody that do not change, listen, if you don't want to change, if you love who you are already, somebody like myself, you don't want, because in 30 minutes, an hour, I know I'm disrupting your thought patterns already. And those who love who they are and do not want to change, and they are married to their own dysfunction, they will never do this work. Never. Because this work will transform you. Time in my school will change you. This time you spent with me will make you think, reflect. You will have to look inside, because the caterpillar that wants to quantum leap into a butterfly must change everything. You have to change. You have to transfer. And those who do not want to change, who have formed an identity with the dysfunctional behaviors and patterns, will not like to do this work, because it's painful to change. Change is not easy, because change forces you, right, to rethink who you are. The prodigal son would rethink and say, you know what am I doing here? Because you have to look around you and evaluate your life and say, is this it, or is there more? And then the prodigal son says, in my father's house, you have to think about what God promised you. Whatever God promised you, match it with what you're experiencing now. If it's the same, you're fine. If it's not, what are you going to change about your behavior? Because you created this, and you will create that. So the only people that go through this transformation, my school, they are people who are restless. They are restless for more. They are restless. They want to grow. They want to expand. They want to do more. They want to think better. They want to unleash what is inside of them. Their mind is open. They are ready. Literally, they've prayed. There's a certain level of prayer that leads you to me. When the student is ready, the teacher you will suddenly see what you need. But when you are not ready, you're still closed-minded, you are married to your dysfunction, you say, oh, this is who I am. This is who I am. Take me as I am. Like, no. Stay right there until you're ready to change and transform. Because where God is taking you will expose you. Where God is taking you will expose all of that dysfunction. And if you want to keep your dysfunction, that's okay. Right? Because elevation exposes your dysfunction. Look at Will Smith. Right? The things you fail to deal with in your private life, when you are elevated into certain spaces, the world will see it. You can't hide that much. That's why I say I have a ton of mindset resources. Ton in Toyin Umesiri that can. Because listen, mindset is everything. Let me quickly read this from Jean And I know none will ever give you a free thing in this world, okay? That's where scammers and thugs, okay, that's where scammers and thugs arise nowadays. Unless you stand out of your comfort zone, none is gonna care. Thank you so much again, Toyin. Tell us, your advice has touched our heart. Oh, thank you. Bible talks about that people will each, there are certain things that sweets that people want to hear. And I found out that it's a lot of lies. That's why lies sell more in the world, right? Those who sell you consumables, they don't challenge you to change anything about your life. It's just a transaction. Buy this, buy that. They do not go through what we are going through here. And this is why many people never change. They roll out the red carpet for you. They take your money and they go and they leave you with where you are. And guess what? People love that. People love lies, trust me, because lies does not challenge your thinking. Lies tells you are the best thing since sliced bread, and you go, that's me. And then you meet Tony, and Tony is like, check yourself. And you're like, what did Tony, why is Tony talking to me like that? What? I'm like, check the mirror. The mirror doesn't lie. So I know the world lies because people love lies. That's why God said, buy the truth and sell it not. He says, wisdom calls out in the streets, but how many people will pay attention to wisdom? But we like lies. The people that take snapshots everywhere, that tells you success is easy, that tells you click here and you make 1 million, click there and you make 10 billion, and you too, you are following them because you like lies. They are giving you gimmicks and you're like, yes, that sounds good, that sounds plausible, that. And you are following on social media, you're following liars. Can I say it? When I say liars, is that they are telling you things other than the truth, other than reality. And many people are going off the cliff because they are following people leading them over the edge into destruction. So you've got to pull yourself back. You've got to pull yourself back, right? You've got to rein in these things, right? That's why, to be honest with you, I prefer this type of work in privacy, right? But when I say sign up for coaching, sign up for class, when I'm teaching, my courses are there. You want to learn, listen, you will sit down and learn. That's why a lot of these things I'm saying, I also prefer to do it privately. But you guess what? People out there, they still prefer to be following things. Because the question is, the last 5 years on social media, what has it done to propel you into your future? And the next 5 years, if you don't change that behavior and you continue exactly what you're doing and you repeat it over the next 5 years, where do you think you will land? So if you don't change, nothing changes. Number 9, those who invest, they've tried everything. They've tried everything else because I see it, right? They've tried it on their own. They've tried this. They've invested here. Somebody told them, oh, I'll help you do. They invested, nothing happened. They did this again. Usually, people that have tried everything will go, okay, let me give this one more shot. Toyin says 10-week accelerator. Toyin says the school. Let me trust again. Let me believe again. Let me give it one more shot. That's it. Because you know that most people's first option is not to invest. Most people's first option is free, minimal, small stuff, like a little here, a little there, a little here, a little there, taste here, taste there, taste there. I know that. But when you're ready to the full dose, Toyin You Mess Reader Academy is ready. The moment you land on that page, you go, whoa, yeah. Everything you need is there. You want to build a business, you want mindset coaching, listen, everything you need is there. But you have to focus, you have to invest, you have to get off social media, you have to do the work, right, to get the results you want. And then finally, what I want to share is that they want peace and less stress. Peace. Peace and less stress. People who still want to keep on grinding, pushing hard, will not pay attention to what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, what I say is calm down, study, learn the ABCD, A to Z of entrepreneurship, learn business development. Here's your market research workbook. Here's how you know who your customers are. These are your brand. I give you everything you need, and you learn in peace. You learn rested. I always say, get your chair, get your coffee, get your drink, get your pen, paper, calm down and read and follow the instructions and direction. It's a more rested, calmer way of learning. And if you don't want that, listen, erratic behavior all over social media. Hey, score here. You're jumping from one room to the other. Okay, what else? What room on Clubhouse? This room, that room. Okay, YouTube here, YouTube there. Okay, no, it's LinkedIn here. Oh no, Facebook. They're all over the place. But the offer is to study to show yourself approved. Calm down. Calm down. Eliminate stress from your life. Less stress from, I don't know what I should do. Who should I do? You're following 100 people, and those 100 people, are they confusing you or leading you? Decide. I lead because there's a framework, there's a direction, there's a roadmap, there's a program. Step 1, step 2, step 3, listen, just follow the steps. You don't have to even worry. The steps are laid out for you. Step 1, step 2, step 3. You know what to do every week, and you will arrive. That's what Google does for us, right? The roadmap. Turn right, turn left. If you can read a roadmap, you can enroll in my school. It's a more peaceful way of going to California. If you have a roadmap, if you have direction, better still go on the plane. The pilot knows where he's going. You just follow. That's the offer. Just follow. But those who do not want to follow one leader, they will follow 100 leaders to nowhere. So do this work for your business, because you need to have clarity. There are the people you want to support and help and serve, and then there are the people who want to be served actually. And you soon realize not everybody wants to be served. Okay, there are some comments here. Let me read. I see John says, wow, thank you. My question is 100% answered. Great. I took that time out to help you. Keith says, people become who they believe themselves to be. Yes. If you don't think you will be great, you will not be. Whew, and you will not do the work. When Toyin say, let's go, let's work hard, let's train. I'm hyping you up as a coach, and you don't want to enroll in the Olympics. What am I doing? You don't want to compete. You don't want to win. Listen, stay with, like, I am for those who want to win, who want to do great things, who are called to transform themselves and transform the world around them. Those are the people that I'm here to serve, because it's not easy doing what they have to do. So my resources help make it easier. It is much easier to shake your fists at the world around you than it is to delve into the world within you. Well said. That's why we have the Abundant Life series, a journey into self-discovery, impact, and transformation, because you want to unleash your power, right? You have to discover yourself. Okay, Kit also dropped here. I love when Kit has a lot of stuff to talk about. That is great. He says 6 ways to build focus in your business. Number 1, eliminate distractions. Number 2, reduce multitasking. Number 3, practice mindfulness and meditation. So I would say spiritual practices, prayer, journaling, right? Anything that helps you stay focused and be in charge of your mind and know what, and create awareness to your own energy and the energy you need to work on. Anyway, that's another topic. Number 4, connect with nature. Literally this morning I took a walk around the neighborhood. My neighborhood here. Number 5, train your brain. Number 6, choose to focus on the moment. Everything Kid just listed here, trust me, it is opposite to what most people are doing around the world. They're not focused, they're distracted, they're not mindful of themselves and their behavior, they're not mindful of the world around them and their own effect on the world and the world on them, right? They're not connecting to nature, they're not training their brain, they're not choosing to focus in the moment. So most people in the world are doing exactly opposite of what Kit is saying. So guess what? What results are they getting? They're getting what they are getting. So that's it. It's a wrap. So just a quick recap again. Basically, if you're a business owner, you want to reverse engineer, it's not enough to know who you want to serve. You also need to know who wants you to serve them, who is ready. And I just shared with you 10 things that when you go into the data, who are the people who actually would sign up, register, and do this work and get the reward and learn how to accelerate their journey to success. Because another one is the fact that my own job is to help you leapfrog. That's when I say quantum leap, because you can stay at the small business level for a long time if you don't know what you're doing, and you can achieve success faster because I'm bringing you big business strategies, how the biggest brands in the world think, what they do, the strategies, the system they build, right? The mindset behind wealth creation, wealth builder mindset, right? I bring all of those things together in my school, and only those who want to accelerate and achieve success faster will invest at that level, right? So, but those who want minimal this, they want to build minimal, that's okay. But if you want to do maximum outcomes, big business, if your future, like if you want to really, really, really win, then you can't do average. I don't do average. I think those who already follow me know that already, right? So for me, part of this process is I teach what I know, I teach what I do, so that you can get the results for yourself. Really, literally. I just walked you through what I have done, and I'm saying do it for yourself. And that's how I teach. That's how I teach. Right. So if you admire what I do, if God has called you to do incredible things in the world, then toyinumesiwi.academy is where you can embrace and tackle these things and learn it yourself. And most people who achieve success, they never teach. But I am committed to teaching because, listen, I love it. I'm built, like my late father was part of establishing 2 universities in Nigeria. My husband is an educator, is a professor. I remember my dad was saying, "Oh, Toyin, you should go and do PhD. Maybe sometime I'll still do it, but listen, I'm a professor by myself anyway." Okay, signing out. Anything else? Thank you, everybody that joined. It's been an hour, 12 minutes. I'm very careful. I packed a lot in this hour. I know that. Share this with somebody. And so, fun fact, let me share something funny that happened. I was about to go live and I totally said, let me take a sip. I took it and it literally spilled. It spilled on me. And I was like, oh no, what do I do? Do I wait for this to dry? Do I change? I was like, oh my goodness. So I waited and it was drying. While I was waiting, I was ready to push go live. And I was saying, let me just take a last, and it spilled on me. So I was like, oh, then when it was almost dry, I was like, okay, let me just start. And look at it, it's dried up. Anyway, you didn't notice, but I'm laughing at myself because drama behind the scenes, right? Oh, when I was just about to say go live, and I was like, okay, bye. I just wanted to share that funny story. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Bye.